All right, I'm heading off for the weekend.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Hamburg, meeting Shveta.
Oh, nice. All the best.
Thank you so much. See ya.
Bye-bye.
Hi, and welcome back to this channel. So as I said, I'm on my way to Hamburg. I'm meeting one of our former coaches from our personal coaching program. Her name is Shveta. She's been living in Hamburg for quite some time, actually. And I'm really looking forward to meeting her because it's been quite a ride with her. We're going to share more about that in detail right after my trip. I'm looking forward to meeting her. Welcome from Hamburg, everyone. I'm here with Shveta now. Shveta, it's such a pleasure to meet you, finally.
Same here. Thank you so much.
It's been really nice seeing you. So, just for your information, everyone, we're here in Hamburg in the district of Altona, which is an old workers district. We see the harbor in the back, which is pretty vast. And where do you live?
Right now we are living in Vansbeck Markt area, and it's like 45 minutes away from here. That's also quite happening in the center of the city. So
Perfect. And you walked here before we met?
yeah, we walked from Altona Rathaus only, not from Altona bus stand. But yeah, it is easily available through walk as well.
Okay, cool. Same with me. I traveled here from Berlin yesterday. Train connection is just about 2 hours, so that's pretty nice. And you're also going to Berlin next weekend, you said?
Yes, we are also going to Berlin, and we have taken IC train, so we could also use that Deutschland pass, but we forgot about it. And we booked the ticket, so that would be it is the fastest train, I think, in Germany. So it will also take around 2 hours for us.
Exactly. Wonderful. Shveta, we want to talk about a couple of things here, and thank you so much for being available. Really appreciate. The first question, let's start from the beginning of this all. And I already talked to you about this when we walked here. How did it all start with you guys? A little bit of a spoiler alert. You're here with your husband. Who planted the idea of coming to Germany in the first place? And when were you guys looking at options for moving abroad?
I think the idea was planted by me in my husband's mind because he had already gone to the US previously before our wedding, and he was like, okay, the place is like this, the place is like that. So I thought, okay, why shouldn't I try it? And we should also try and maybe see where we could go and see the opportunities, what are available for us. So initially our plan was to go to the Canada, as everyone goes over there. Most of the Indian people are going over there. And then we also were looking from our respective companies and our respective roles. Also, we talked to our managers that if you could provide us some country visas. And we also got that opportunity. But because of Corona, there was quite a lot of delay and everything was stuck. There was nothing coming up and we couldn't do anything, just wait and for the response. So in that point of time is when I received your message over the LinkedIn. And first, initially I ignored it obviously because I couldn't trust anyone, and I'm sorry for that.
And you had been in touch with an Indian organization as well just a few weeks before then? And you were like, who are these scammers?
We were already in touch with one of the Indian consultants, basically, who one of my friend recommended, but they were also charging a lot of money, and they were saying it's not 100% sure that you will get something, but we'll give it a try and all that stuff. Then that was the time that I told my husband that I've already got something from people from Germany only. Why don't we give them a try and let's see how it goes? And then at that time we had our first meeting, and I was so happy that you are not like money minded. You just want people in your country, and you were like waiting. I don't know, why do you trust people also so much? What if they join and they don't give you money? That's the little drawback also. But that's good thing also that people trust over here blindly. That's the major positive thing. So I was fully satisfied with everything from the scratch till
Thank you so very much. If you don't mind, I would just like to maybe circle back. What do you think makes one decide to go abroad. It's something I like to cover every once in a while in the videos, because I went to the US when I was 16, and I had this inner feeling like I wanna leave, I wanna go, I wanna do something. What was it with you and your husband? When did you two see for yourselves this is something that is enticing to you?
I think the major drawback back there was that our work culture is not that good as over here. We were like working for 12 hours or 10 hours, but still not getting recognized, and the pay is very less. So we just wanted, we were not after money or something. We just wanted some time to ourselves. Like, we don't want going to bed and just cribbing to each other, okay, at 12 at night also, that the work is still not finished and we need to wake up early again and do the same stuff all over again and listen to all the things which our manager is saying. So that was maybe the major turning point, because in my field, I was able to get job and salary was okay, and I was satisfied with it. But my husband was not at all, like, he was feeling little drenched out in his company, and he was not at all happy with the role what he was doing even after 10 years of his work at his place. He was feeling like, I just want to leave everything. I don't want to work at all. I'll do something, but I won't do this at all. So those were also the things which we were looking forward to, that okay. And then later on we thought that okay, once we start having kids, we don't think we'll be going anywhere, because the initial years of them are very important and we should be staying at same place. So those were also the points which we were keeping in mind. And then we just sat down and thought, okay, what is the solution to it? Because this cannot go that way, just fighting or doing nothing about it. Then we thought about this, okay, let's go and explore and see. But Germany was not at all, it was out of syllabus for us.
So did you pull up a map and then you decided, okay, there is Europe, there is America, there is Australia, and
I pulled up a map and I got job in Hamburg. Where is Hamburg? We know Berlin, we know Germany, where it is, but where is Hamburg?
and it's the second largest city in Germany. So Germany is not a country that you say people have on their map as much or on their radar as much.
Mm-hmm.
And that's also maybe because people are rather tending towards countries where they speak English already. Is that the reason?
Yeah, I think so, because initially we were looking forward for English-speaking countries only. US was not the option because my husband had already gone there and he was not like given positive feedback about the country. And we also have heard very like rules about it, that they are not employee friendly, or in vacations they don't have much vacations for their employees, also so many other things as well. And then the next option was Australia. So we were also thinking about Australia as well. And then the last option was only Canada, because it has point system. But there also we were ready to go there in spite of the harsh weather also, and still not see sun for so many months.
We'll talk about German weather here in a couple of minutes though as well, but no, I get it.
But I think it is better than Canada, so
That's a statement.
Yeah.
So then all of a sudden you received my message.
Mm-hmm.
What was your initial feeling besides, oh, that's got to be a scam? Did you pull up a Germany map, or did you like look at Jobs Germany and whether this is true, whether there is something behind this?
Yes, I looked at your website and I saw that you had posted so many WhatsApp chat about people, and also the videos about them, that the positive feedback that they had given. And then you were like more convincing in a way that we'll be having first round of interview with you or first round of talk with you, and then we'll see whether to enroll you or not. Then only we'll be charging you money or whatever it is. So that was the most, I think, the convincing thing for us.
That's true. And you've been here now for quite some time. You were one of our, let's say, rather earlier clients, but we're still sticking to the same system. In other words, you book a get-to-know call, you send your CV, and we'll have to do a two-step assessment process, meaning we will always need to talk to you in person, and we'll also need to see you.
Yeah.
Anyway, we decided we want to make you an offer to join the program. Maybe this is also the time that you can maybe you want to share a little bit about you as a tech professional. What's your tech stack? what do you focus on? What have you focused on in India? And we're going to maybe also talk a little bit more about your job here in Germany in a couple of minutes. But what was your focus before you joined? And where do you saw your sweet spot?
Okay, so before in India, I was working as IT engineer, and I was basically working on JavaScript only in the front end languages itself. But in India, there's different rule, like you have to be fully fledged about each and every technology, not just focus on one single technology. And I had worked on other technologies also. But after joining your program, I was basically focusing on only the front-end language, that is JavaScript and React, because every country has its own different job profiles. So I was focusing on that. And I had already worked on React, so I was knowing about it and how it works and all that stuff. So I was preparing more for those particular interviews. And now I'm fully working as a React front-end developer.
Okay. Wonderful. And that goes with Redux, it goes with HTML, CSS, Firebase.
HTML, CSS. So that all is included already. HTML5 and HTML3, I guess, sorry.
Okay.
CSS and JavaScript, jQuery. So all those languages are included in that.
Okay, perfect. Can I share a secret with you?
Yeah, sure.
Do you think, or can you imagine why I made you an offer to join the program?
I guess you heard me saying that I'm frustrated.
But whenever we start boarding on people, we have faith that they'll make it.
Okay.
And the secret I want to share with you is I had faith that you're going to make it because of two reasons. First of all, you're outgoing and this is what we keep on saying with regard to everybody who's joining, you have these necessary soft skills when it comes to communicating with people. And maybe you want to share what made the difference with what you were used to from taking interviews in India. How is it different? And what did I share with you? What's important when it comes down to when you're doing first round, second round, third round, etc.?
So the interview process, I think, is a little backward, backward in the sense from 3 to 1 it is in India, and over here it is 1, 2, 3. So the HR process comes in the beginning, and they check your communication skills, whether you are culturally fit in their particular culture or not, or you will be fitting into their team or not. And I think that is the last step in Indian interviews. And then mostly every company has second round as the technical interview, where it could also be divided into multiple technical rounds, either a code-based situation they'll give you to take it home, or live coding, or with someone you'll have small code snippets and you have to explain them what they are. And once all the interview rounds are clear, then they also are also helpful in giving the feedback to you. If in case you have not done good, they'll give you feedback. Or you have, like the one tip which you suggested was to always ask for the feedback, because that is very important. And it also helps to increase, or it helps to understand what did we do wrong, because it's the other person's perspective which we don't see. So those were the things. And then the last round is basically just the joining letter or the offer letter which the company is going to give you. And over here, the one thing is that they'll be adamant on that particular salary. They won't increase. And unlike India, you can ask them that I have already got an offer letter. Could you give me or match this salary?
Okay.
But over here, they'll have their pockets filled already. So they usually don't increase the package. But that's also a very good thing. And then they provide different perks for you also. So that was also nice.
I would like to know a little more about your insights when it came to understanding the requirements from round to round. Did you feel like you were getting closer? Did you find it frustrating in the beginning? Because I can share now, we've known each other for quite some time now. You were making baby steps.
Yeah.
And you were always moving forward one step at a time, but there were drawbacks, there were setbacks, right? Can you share a little more about that?
Yeah, I think my first major drawback was when I was not able to clear the first round also. And I think I called you to take my one more fake interview or some random interview.
Mock-up, that's what we call it, yeah. But fake interview, I like that too.
Yeah, the mock-up interview. Sorry, I was not able to create that word. So,
I know what it is.
yeah, so I wanted to, and because I was not able to clear the first round, I thought that maybe I had given myself like I was over. What do you say? Sorry.
That's okay. You were thinking this is something that you can or very okay.
I was thinking that it's very easy and no one can reject me in the first round. I was thinking that I think I was overconfident in that. So maybe that thing led to one or two interviews being rejected. But when I talked to you that, okay, you always used to tell me was that don't look at the previous thing. You every time have to start at level 0 again. So that was the thing which I kept in my mind in every interview stages. So in the second interviews also, there was some time that when I thought, okay, this is the coding challenge, I'll be able to do it. And I did it also, even if I was not knowing or I didn't do it any time, but still it was rejection because of some of the things which they didn't like I had not kept the CSS file outside of the JavaScript file, which I know I should have kept it.
Okay, no, we're already going into the specifics of that. Maybe just one step back. What does it come down to in a first round, in an HR round? What's your professional experience now? And maybe at your current company, are you taking interviews as well? No. You're not, okay. Because I have experienced that, where now people are working in Germany and they're also part of the hiring team already. So that's why I was asking. But from your experience, what does it come down to? What's the most important thing for a first round?
The most important thing for the first round is be yourself, showing the confidence even if you don't have anything, even if you're feeling nervous at the back of your head, just keep talking very slowly to them and make sure that whatever information you are telling them is true to your own knowledge, because that's what matters, and people can easily find out that you are not telling the truth or if it is false information that you are giving them. And also whatever they ask, just give them clear answer, not elaborative answer. Just provide them a few description about it. 2-3 sentences would be much better about it, not because they also have a limited time. And I think the interviewer can easily find out if you are a valid candidate or not within 5 or 10 minutes. So they just give you time for 30 minutes just like that, I feel.
That's true, and it's a very important piece of information, actually. A good recruiter will be able to tell from the first 3 minutes whether or not it's worth pursuing to the next round with somebody. That being said, why do you think it's also important to speak slowly?
I think it is important to speak slowly is because we Indians talk very fast, even in the English language also, apart from our local language, we talk very fast. But over here, people tend to listen everything, each and every word very carefully. And they tend to understand that thing. And because it's English is not their first language, so... And I've seen people in US also that they talk very slow. So to grasp the complete essence of the sentence, it is better to talk in slowly, make them understand what you are trying to say. And also talking slowly also give the person time to think what to speak next. That is also
a good trick. Exactly. You said most of the people that you did interviews with in the first round were Germans, or did you also have sometimes people from other countries? Because it's international teams.
No, not in the first round, but in the second round I had.
Okay. So it would be some Annika from German HR. But from German HR, the people, it's also like you slowly got the feeling of what you need to do, right? Yeah. Okay. Very good.
So after 1 or 2 interviews, you get to know what is going in their mind, what are they looking for, and there are some tools and tips to follow and to answer their questions. So that is the most important thing.
And that's what we are always there for. In our program, ideally, everybody passes first rounds eventually. And you need to pass those first rounds eventually in order to proceed to what comes next.
Yeah. So the next is the technical round.
Exactly. That's the part of the journey that can get pretty rough. It's the gravel road, the off-road. It's what I like to call the sandwich part, the middle of the sandwich.
Middle of the sandwich part. Yeah. That's the most important thing, because if you don't have the middle part, you cannot enjoy your sandwich.
I love that.
Yeah, you have to have better to start preparing from the beginning once you are enrolled in the program and see follow the different websites are there to help you understand the interviews and start doing the codings, because if you don't have the basic idea about it, I don't think that you'll be going somewhere, or you cannot answer the simple questions also. So that is the main thing. And
you just mentioned one specific piece of feedback that you had received back then in one of the tech rounds.
yeah.
What did that do when you were, because I encouraged you have to ask for feedback, because
Yes.
most of the companies may not share anything, but those that do share something will have very, very valuable pieces of information for you.
Yeah.
So what happened?
So it was a feedback from one of the company. Right now, I don't remember the name. Sorry. So in that feedback, they had actually given the feedback about each and every part of the code.
Wow.
Yes. So there were like 4 different parts of the code. So they had given each and every part of the feedback I received, and just in one of the part of the code, it was not good. But apart from that, all the other 3 was good. So and I knew that maybe I had done some mistake over there, but I was also working at that time and doing this jobs. I mean, giving these interview processes also. So sometimes doing it after work was a little tiresome for me, and I tried to do it with A+ thing. And I really thought, I was telling my husband also that seriously, this is the thing which I didn't even learn. I learned it on my own, and I created this code out on my own. And but at the end of the day, I was happy about it because I learned something new. I didn't really care. Like I knew it wouldn't go because of one small thing. But yeah, then that thing was like embedded into my brain or my chip or mind chip, so I couldn't take it off. And then in next interviews, I thought, okay, fine, this was one thing which I maybe might have lost the opportunity. Why not give it another try in the another companies? Yeah.
Do it next time.
Yeah.
And that is the exact effect that we keep on preaching to everybody that will make it work eventually. The learning curve effect, right? Where you are able to, draw conclusions from the feedback that you're getting. Oh, this is how they wanted me to do it. This is what I should have done. Oh, now it makes perfect sense, right? And it's a normal effect. It's a learning effect that we all know back from school. It still applies, and it applies here.
Yes. Yeah. The main thing is we don't have to cry for whatever we have lost or we have been rejected. If you have lost 10, maybe you might get 20 next opportunities in the next month. So maybe that was not your company. Maybe there is some other company waiting for you. So That's what I thought.
I appreciate that attitude, I must say, because I do also have people in the program that won't take it like you, but they will rather cry about it. So I must say the way that you are doing it, or you were doing it, was from a mentality point of view, seeing the positive in it, also the right thing. That's just what I can share when I compare the different people that we work with. But of course, everybody's different.
Yeah, that's true.
Technical rounds. What did you think of the level in general? Was it something that you were overwhelmed by at first, or were you saying, oh no, I actually know most of this already and I should be able to do it? But then you felt like I need to just bring it from 90% to 98%. Is that kind of what it felt like?
Yeah. Actually, the technical rounds are pretty much like the beginner level of rounds only. They just need to know your basic understanding. The basic concepts are clear to you or not. So I was, in the beginning, I was mainly focusing on how to do the coding rather than brushing up my skills on the basic concepts also, because I think in starting 1 or 2 companies, I lost because of those things only, that I didn't get the time to brush up my skills. I was focusing more on the more important, like what is the trend today, what is going on, how to code, what to write in the code, basically that thing. So the companies are basically looking for mainly how do you still remember your basic things and how can you implement those in your in the current scenario as well. So they're not looking for to create a website for Volkswagen right now in a day or something. They'll just tell you to just create a basic flex or a grid and show us how you have done, why you did this, why you did that. So that is all you will be given 2 + 2 only, not 2 into 2 or something a bigger number.
Okay.
Yeah.
But each company will have their own kind of snippets for you to solve, or Do they use Codility or HackerRank, or how does it work?
Some of the companies have their code snippets, so they'll have it like directly in the Visual Studio Code, and they'll ask you that is there something wrong in this particular code? Just make it run for us. Or some companies will ask you some of the technologies like what is polymorphism and why do you use it or when do you use it. So these concepts. And some companies also ask you what is the output of this code snippet. Like you don't have to run, you just have to see the code and just gather that information that from this code, what will be the output. And other companies will have live coding. Like I think it's Google platform which they have the live coding. I'm not sure about that. They'll have live coding and the other person can see whatever you are typing.
That's freaky.
Yeah. And then there also is like take a away home code. They'll give you 1 week or 5 days to solve the code, and you can use all the necessary Google help also. But obviously everything is not available on Google as well. So you need to use your brain and do everything like what is intended out of it. And sometimes in so much nervousness, whenever you are sharing the code, even the easiest thing doesn't work, because it happened with me in one of the interview. It was the easiest code. It didn't work at all. I knew what to do, and still it didn't work. It was my bad luck.
So, I mean, in the end, really, maybe you had a bad day, but in the end, it comes down to clean code, applying solid principles, knowing the basics of things, unit testing.
Unit testing, I don't think many of the companies look forward, because they look forward for Cypress testings.
Okay.
So maybe someone should know the basic idea of Cypress testings and how to do the testing, because I think everyone wants to know about the testing part also, not as knowledgeable as the QA or the quality assurance person, but you should be able to test your code, and it should be like not big code, big lines of code and doing just nothing. It should be small and crisp, and it should be able to understandable part also.
How much back-end do you have to know as a front-end engineer? That would be my next question, because we talked about you also having some back-end knowledge, but then the question is how we would frame that in your CV and which kinds of roles would we eventually be going for, and we decided, okay, it's front-end all the way. But then, and this is my question, you found out that it also happens, it's a good coincidence, it's good if you also are able to show that you have a variety of skills beyond just front-end, correct?
So the backend technology, I guess back then I was having Azure only. And then you asked me to do about the AWS, which I am currently using in my project. So it's very helpful right now. And apart from that, I think there is also backend technology which is coming up is the Node.js. So even most of the people are focusing more into the full stack developer. So getting all the front end and the back end knowledge. So that would be better to learn as well.
Okay, perfect. And in the end, of course, it's besides the technical part, the way that you speak, the way that you behave, live coding, and especially those behavior questions, maybe also behaviorisms in a technical as an interview can be assessed, right?
Because during the live coding, you just don't have to code. You have to tell why you are coding that also. Why did you give the const that name? Why did you write the function in that way? Why did you use callback or use memo hook? So those things are also kept in mind. I mean, they'll be asking you questions about that also. Why did you use this hook? Why did you
do it? Why did you not do this? Or they challenge you.
Yeah. So they'll challenge you that I would have done it in the other way. Why didn't you do that in that way? So those are the major things that they'll be trying to enter your mind and see what you are exactly thinking and why you are thinking in that way. Yeah.
And there's a certain strategy behind it, of course, is also to challenge you, see how you deal with pressure. And in that case, what I can share, maybe what you can share as well, is keep calm, keep your cool, be a professional about it. The fact that they're challenging you is a good sign. They want to see how far you can go.
Yeah, that's also good. Actually,
so don't freak out.
I was about to say it makes you nervous, but yes, you just have to think that the other side of the person is also you. And you are just looking at your code on your own and just code as if you are sitting alone and coding it. I know sometimes it becomes a little scared, or someone gets scared that, okay, what if the other person is judging? Actually, he or she is judging you based on your coding skill. But yeah, at the end of the day, it is like how you do it and how you keep yourself calm. Because if you don't keep yourself calm, even if the smallest, easiest code snippet also won't work for you. So That is the major thing.
Very good. Thank you for sharing. And after that comes the final round, and it's like you're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, but you're still not yet out of the tunnel. What's the most important thing for the culture fit final round?
So basically, in the final round, you'll get to meet your future team, and they'll be giving their own experiences, or they'll be introducing themselves to you, and you are made to introduce to them also. And they'll also be judging you that whether you are culturally fit in their team or not. So they'll also be checking, it's like verbal checking only, whether how do you speak, how do you talk to each and every person, what do you say, and what expressions you give, and how do you say. So all that things matter at that particular time also. It's not that the technical interview is over, still the elephant's tail is still hanging in there. So that is the thing as well.
Very true. And there can be some weird questions sometimes. And of course, it's also a culture fit in the true sense of the word. I like to share the story where one of the founders of a company ended up doing the last call with a guy, actually from India. And there were two founders. They got some, startup money, was heavily funded. They got some 10 millions or something, and they had to build a tech team. And it was really weird, also for me, from a German point of view. They opened a bottle of beer in front of the computer, in front of the camera, and they just wanted to check how that person would react to that and feel comfortable with it. Honestly, I personally, as a German, I understand what they're trying to do, but is it a fit way of assessing somebody's skills or fit? I'm not so sure, but it's just the way they did it. And just like with the opening of a bottle of beer, can come any other supposedly weird question. And have you ever had anything like that, or was it okay with you? You can pretty much expect most of the things to be pretty standard in a culture fit round.
Yeah, I think this thing didn't happen with me because I think I gave only one cultural fit interview and I accepted the offer.
Okay, wonderful. That's perfect. But we also made sure that you're able to respond to certain things, of course, in a certain way, just so that you know, not to have it throw you off in any way, right?
Yeah. So I think that is the drinking beer in office hours is okay over here, and everyone drinks it. But in my company, everyone usually drinks after office hours.
After office, of course, yeah.
Beers in our office as well, yeah. But yeah, it's legal. It's like if you are going for a lunch also, we can have 1 or 2 beers. That's not an issue over here. So.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Shveta. I would like to proceed now with the second part of the interview. We're also going to get your husband involved, who's behind the camera. Has been chuckling quite a bit, I could tell. So maybe we just change the setting. But in general, what I would like to now focus on is maybe the part that came after you guys relocating, come to Germany, life in Germany, etc. So thank you so much. All the best. See you in the next episode.